So, day 3 of the new split. It's leg day again. We're starting with the adductor machine, just pre-exhausting my adductors. Last time I did this exercise, developed a bit of a weird niggle inside my glute. I'm not entirely sure what the dynamic was, but I'm just going to take the concentric a little bit slower this time and decrease the range of motion slightly. I'm going to probably do it this way for a couple of weeks until I'm in a position where I can actually increase the range of motion a little bit more and essentially open up my legs and my hips a bit more. I'm not going to go crazy with intensity. The workout's a lot longer than my usual leg day. I'm also going to finish with hamstrings. So I'm going to be doing curls and stiff leg deadlift at the end of the session. We decided to structure it this way so that I can focus on growing my upper body a little bit more. I've always been more bottom heavy, and obviously having to use an extra day to train my hamstrings and do my deadlifts, it would take away from the upper body a little bit, nonetheless, in terms of my recovery capacity. So we are compressing literally everything that concerns lower body in one session. And that includes all my squats, leg presses, adductors, curls, and deadlifts as well. So it's a long ass session, increased volume. So today I'm literally going to be taking it very easy with the weights. Nonetheless, it's going to be obviously intense, but the whole point is just getting through it and setting the standards for next week. The worst thing you can do when starting a new training block is going absolutely crazy. You take your initial standards so high that the only thing you can do is crush. So when you start in a new training block, I'm not saying take it easy, but be aware of the fact that you want to improve your performance in the next few weeks. So you need to start from a baseline, not above your baseline. First working set, got 3 sets between 10 to 15 reps here. So yeah, just initiating that concentric a little bit slower than I normally would. So no power. Yeah, just control. Oh. Oh. Fuck. You go from 100 to 0 pretty quick. Second exercise, tension squat. We've got 4 sets here. 2 between 5 and 7, and 2 in a higher rep range. My legs are still a bit sore from my last leg day, so yeah, it's gonna be weird taking it easy, but I just loaded three plates. This is less than my usual back off, so should be pretty safe. One more. Okay. Safe. Pretty safe. Final set. 4th set. Between 8 to 12. I'm doing it beltless because I'm starting to feel my lower back for some reason. I get the feeling that it's actually the adductors. Easy enough. All right. 3 sets, 10 to 15. The leg press, nice and easy. Yeah, no aiming for any PR today. Don't want to say I'm going through the motion, but it does feel like more of a chill. Feels more like a marathon, like just to do all this volume. But I know that it's purposeful for what we're trying to achieve right now and just get to saturation. So. That's it. Nothing spectacular. This is literally it. 2 more sets of this. Okay, final set for the quad section of the workout. It's going to be a drop set at the leg extension. I'm starting with a medium rep range and dropping it twice. I said I was going to take it easy, but I'm actually feeling the volume a little bit. I'm not going to lie. Just building up a bit of inflammation. Oh, a bit more intense than I wanted it to be, but I'll allow it. Session is really starting to drag. 3 more sets here, and then 3 sets of RDLs. Quite curious to see what I'm going to be able to lift, especially since I'm working with reps in reserve. Maybe 140, 150. Let's see. Fuck. One more exercise. RDLs. Did a couple of warm-up sets. I think I can handle 160. Not for many reps. Again, we're working with reps in reserve today anyway. So, let's see how this goes. Definitely feel tighter than usual, especially in my hip flexors, but I know that it's mostly just the quads just being tight from the rest of the session. What I found interesting is that when I lift it off, it doesn't feel that heavy. Potentially feels lighter than it usually does. I suppose I normally do this when I'm still cold, so it takes me a while to warm up. Now I'm definitely warmer than usual. But yeah, picking up the weights doesn't feel as heavy. Just doing the exercise feels really tight. Fuck. Oh, but big session that was, definitely a lot more volume than what I'm used to. But that's, it's purposeful to what we're trying to do at the moment. Increase the food, increase the training volume, just to try to maintain as much muscle mass as possible. Just a quick outro. I wanted to finish off with saying that progress isn't linear and that it's normal. The wave goes up and down, the tide changes its patterns. And so for that, when we're up, we got to remember that it's not forever. And when we're down, we need to remember that it's only temporary. So being aware that these fluctuations are normal are going to help us appreciate the good times when things are going well a lot more, and to not despair when things are not going so great. And of course, in the heat of the moment, we tend to forget this. And when we're up, we feel amazing and we feel invincible. When we're down, it feels like it's the end of the world. But I think the more you go through that process and the more you get used to these ups and downs. But I believe that collecting experiences while being aware of what is happening is going to save you a lot of time in life. If you can be conscious in the moment that you're doing something, if you can be aware of your environment, aware of your inner self as things are happening to you, you most definitely won't need to go through that pattern as many times as you would if you just did it being completely unaware. And this kind of brings me to another aspect related to these ups and downs, and one of the secrets of success, or at least what I think it is. I don't necessarily consider myself successful, but I've been observing successful people. This is one of the best things about the internet, is that you can find out anything about anybody, and you can watch loads of podcasts and interviews and read and connect to people. And I've also been fortunate enough to be in a couple of circles of people that you would consider successful, at least in what they did with their career. And one thing I recognized a lot of these people had in common, this sense of playfulness with what they do. Almost like it's a game, and it is a game. But I think a game, you can experience it as a nightmare. You can have a lot of anxiety, a lot of depression, a lot of hype. You can be extremely competitive while playing a game. Or you can play with the true spirit of the game, which is being playful. And of course, there might be a lot on the line for you, for them, for me. And that might just feel very overwhelming. But sometimes the more you can act lightheartedly, then the easier it is to stay positive and then find solutions to problems, being more analytical and less reactive, as we always say, and just enjoy the journey, as simple as it sounds. So yeah, that's definitely something that I am telling myself that I'm practicing at the moment. I'm going through what you would call a bit of a rough patch. I am reminding myself of all of this. I'm reminding myself that it is a game at the end of the day. It can be a deadly game, but it is a game. And the rules of the game want for these ups and downs to be prominent. And the standing still is never really an option. And with that, I'll leave you guys to it for today. Thank you so much for watching. If it's your first time here, I'm posting one vlog a day for a year straight. So feel free to like and subscribe, and I'll see you tomorrow.